And we are live. Welcome to Glammaz Closet, guys. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I have it's been a fun last 24 hours, I can tell you this. Thank you so much for being here this morning. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday morning, and let's try to make it even better. Even better. First up in the chat, I want to say hello to SB Reselling Company. That is Sophie from the UK. If you don't know, check her out. She is awesome. She is and she's lovely. I mean, just like beautiful skin. She's lovely. So good morning, Sophie. Thank you for being first in the chat. Nita J. Hello, Nita. Mwah. Hello. It's good to see you this morning. And Johnny, my love. Yes. Johnny, I sent those moon pies over to Great Britain and they liked them. I did make them microwave them, but they did like them. They did. Now, Sophie is eating a prawn curry. So I'm guessing that's like a shrimp curry. Been getting all my shoes out for my show later. Got a Rugby World Cup on TV. That's literally the most British sentence I think I've ever heard. And listening to your dulcet tones. Oh, my tones are dulcet. Thank you. Thank you. And everybody saying hello to each other. Good morning, Patrick Murphy. This bud's for you. And thank you for the Maui onion chips. Holy crap, guys. Those things are so good. They're so good. Good morning, Sissy. Mwah. Much love to the house of Sissy. I hope everybody is doing well. Denise's Magical Emporium, always magical and always Denise. Mwah. Good morning, Denise. It's good to see you. My favorite intro music. That was from my sissy. Yeah, that was from your Boosie. Thank you so much for it. Well, Boosie, that was a weird word. That was your boo. I'll just say that. Good morning, Ronnie, and tackle hugs all the way over in Virginia. Good morning, Jonathan. The cops are in the house. Bad boys. What you gonna do? Thank you. You're obsessed with my skin. I really am. I don't know what your skincare routine is or how you keep it looking so absolutely beautiful, but you really do have just one of the prettiest faces. I just adore you. Lin, speaking of pretty faces, good morning, Lin. How are you? It's good to see you. Mwah. It's good morning. It's guys. Okay, more coffee. And eventually I'm going to have to switch to tea with sugar and milk in it, I think is how I was told to make it. I don't know. I wrote it down. Yeah, Johnny, I told them make sure and microwave it for 5 seconds for best results. And they did. They had this melty moon pie and it was so good. I was jealous. LOL, good morning, boob. Yeah, boob. Booty, sissy is boozy. See, that's, we're a little boozy in my family. I don't have a routine. Okay, now I'm extra jealous. Thanks, Soph. I'm gonna need to see that mug again. Oh yeah, it's a play on Broadway, and I found this at a yard sale, and I had to have it. Woman of a certain age. And Ronnie and everybody welcoming in our friends from the UK. Thank you so much for your lovely warm welcome on Lindsay and Alvin's show last night. I really had a blast. I had a good time. And I apologize. I'll apologize now because I was just shoveling chips in my face so hard. I was so hungry because I had a really super light lunch, like a fold over half a cheese sandwich, because we were headed out to dinner that night. So, and dinner, oh my God, you guys. Okay, always read the Yelp review so you can manage your expectations before you go to dinner. And I did, and it was fantastic. Here's what happened. Hi, Jessica. Good morning. Good morning, Lindsay and Alvin. Mwah! Mwah, mwah, mwah. It's going to be so much fun. I had a blast last night. I can't wait to do it again. Kristen, good morning. You had to get a roast in to cook. Yeah, we have that in common. There's a lot of roast happening in the UK on Sundays and also over here. And yeah, Jessica pimps people out, and if you don't know, that does mean that she shares you out. So if she says that to one of my people from Great Britain, just know that if you're from the UK and she says she pimps you out, that's a good thing. Let's see. We've got Lyndon, Soph, and everybody saying hello. Kisses to our UK friends. That's right. Mwah. Um, so what I did was this. I was looking for a good Vietnamese restaurant, right? Like I have missed Vietnamese food since Pho closed down, which was my favorite restaurant. And so I found one online where they had the worst reviews, right? I mean, just awful reviews. But every single review was like the food was so good. It was like fantastic, over the moon food, fresh, lovely, exactly what you want for the food. The problem that they had was that the service was so god awful that nobody wanted to go there. And it was like it sat half empty on a Saturday night when every restaurant around it was so packed that there were people waiting outside. So because I'm a contrarian and because I just have a very weird sense of humor, I tell Grandpa about this. I'm like, okay, the service is going to be horrible. I mean, horrible. He's probably going to ignore us, or she's probably going to ignore us the entire time. I'm like, but the food is supposed to be off the chain. And he's like, let's go. Let's do this. We went there and they did not disappoint. I have never, ever in my life. No, it's lemongrass carry. It's down on South Grand. And I have never in my life had worse service. Like this guy literally gave zero Fs, like zero Fs. He had nothing to give us, nothing. He looked like the dude who was dragged in by his wife to do something that he didn't want to do. And he was nagged into it and he was resentful and he was supposed to retire tomorrow or something. I mean, this guy was so like, he was so over us. He's like, here, have your food. Like we had to get his attention, and we got water like 20 minutes after we were seated, and like 5 minutes after we got our appetizer. It was so bad, and it was wonderful, and the food was incredible as promised. The food was so freaking good. So I had like the coconut curry. I had the coconut curry scallops, and we had like, and the kids had pho, and my husband had he had like he had like deep fried calamari, but it was like tempura batter fried with vegetables, and everything was fresh. Everything was so good. The Vietnamese coffee was good. But it's really funny because we overheard this lady like two tables over, and she's like, "Can I have a Pepsi?" And he's like, "No soda." I mean, he just sounded like the soup Nazi. It was so awesome. And I'm like, do you think they'd be mad if I recorded this? Because literally he would like drop things off the table and not even make eye contact. Not even make eye contact. And we're like, we felt bad about asking for stuff. And I tipped him an extra. They already had a service charge, and I tipped him an extra $25 because this guy was just absolutely a character. You don't get that. You don't get that every. You don't get that every day. It's so funny. I would love to see all you Yanks cook a proper roast. Yeah, well, my dad gave me a pot roast recipe. This is what he said. He said you sear it on both. He said you flavor it, you sear it on both sides, and then you put it into the roasting pan with the potatoes and the carrots, and you put it into the oven on super low, right? And then you go to church. And when you come home from church, your pot roast is done. And I said, well, I said, what if you don't go to church? And he said, then you don't get any pot roast. So eventually I figured it out. You go to church long enough and you figure out exactly about how long that service is. Turned out I make a pretty mean roast. Tam and Belle, it's good to see you this morning. Hello, 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 gorgeouses. And Santa Claus, straight up from the North Pole. What's up, Santa? I've been a very good girl this year, except for last night when I was laughing so hard I couldn't stand it at the dude who was serving us. He was so funny. It was so funny, guys. I mean, I really wish you could have seen it. It was so funny. And I get the biggest kick out of like crazy people. I don't know why. I think I have a crazy people fetish or something. I'm not sure. Good morning, Dodo, my love. How are you this morning? No, Glamma, I cook you a roast and best go to church. Amen. How about I pretend to go to church and you cook me a roast anyway? That would be great. Oh God, Carrie, we don't even want to talk about revival breaking out at noon. You could be there all day. You could have like 20 burnt roasteses. I bought the makings for chicken and dumplings. Oh man, chicken and dumplings sound so good. And Glampa figured out too, really quickly when I tried to take a shortcut. Good morning, Tooch. I see you, baby. How you doing, Tooch? Glampa figured out I was trying to take a shortcut one time because I've always made biscuits and gravy. Well, that too, but I've always made chicken and dumplings from scratch. And I went to Walmart one day and I noticed that they had frozen dumplings for chicken and dumplings, and I thought this is perfect. There's no way he would know. He doesn't pay, or at least I didn't think he paid that much attention to what he was eating. He just ate it. And I made the chicken and dumplings one night with the new dumplings, and I was like, well, they're okay, they're dumplings. He put his spoon down after 3 bites. He's like, what is wrong with these dumplings? Did you change the recipe? Did you use a different recipe? What's going on? I couldn't fool him. I was so surprised. I couldn't have been more shocked that he actually paid attention to what he was stuffing in his mouth. So yeah. Chicken and dumplings, so good, so good. And it's like anything else, it's kind of a pain in the butt to make, but once you make it, oh, you are so glad that you did. So I just want to jump off this morning with the closet news, and we are going to end the show about 10 minutes early today because I have to hop off, go to the bathroom, smoke, and then make toast for the live tasting. So Thursday mornings with Johnny, Posh Information every Thursday morning at 7:30 a.m. Central. I'll be on Johnny's show. It's Cajun Roots Reseller. And then every Sunday morning, of course, at 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Mountain, 8 a.m. Pacific, 4 a.m. Hawaii, 2 a.m. in Australia, and 4 p.m. tea time in Great Britain. We do have our Sunday live. So tune in. We have brunch. Normally it's a little bit longer than 45, 50 minutes, but today I'm hungry, and I've got I have to warm up the beans, and I have to warm up the pudding and make the toast. So I've got everything settled in little plates. I just have to make sure and make it. But I'm excited to have a true British breakfast. So please stay tuned after the show, or tune back in really after the show. It's going to be about a 10-15 minute break. And then I will be back on, not on this particular show, but there will be another follow-up show on the same bat time, same bat channel. Listing challenge. We do have a listing challenge coming up. I was asked about this a couple of times. Oh, you're on with Mark and Mike today. Oh, my loves. I love Mark and Mike. I love them like I gave birth to them. So we've got the listing challenge 50 by Friday, October 9th through the 13th. There will be some nights that'll be on my channel, some nights that'll be on Veronica Mitke, and then we're going to wrap up the week on Friday night with Veronica Mitke because she's got the Relist and Relax, which is back every other Friday night. So check out her channel for those. It's just we needed to get the death piles working for us. I need to make, I'm staring at stuff that could be making me money. Why would I do that, right? Because I'm lazy. So yeah, thank you so much. I love the two old guys like they give birth to me, Dana. Yeah, right. They're so fantastic, guys. If you haven't checked them out, they're just wonderful. They're just wonderful people. Veronica has dropped the link for the British Snacks tryout show today. And if you just hang out on this channel, we will see you. We'll see you there. Ooh, yay, Dodo, we can get those bins of shoes listed. Yes, you guys, you both have bins of shoes. Don't lie. I know you're sitting there with bins of shoes. I have a bin of shoes. Everybody's got like bins of stuff that needs to be done. Good morning, Geneva. Mwah. Hello, gorgeous. How are you? Tooch is in with the listing challenge. His death pile is huge also. It's October the 9th through the 13th. Typically, we'll do it at between 8 and 8:30. We'll start, and then we'll do about an hour and a half, 2 hours, just depending. But yeah, a listing challenge, always good for everybody, every reseller. I think we tend to get more done if we're accountable to each other. And if we've got, if we know that we can show up with bragging rights and go, hey, I got 4 listed today. And there's, it's just easier to run the race with people cheering you on. In fashion news, Milan Fashion Week was this week. And so everybody from Dolce & Gabbana to, anybody who had a show in Paris or New York also had one in Milan. I did check out Elle Magazine's take on it, though. Usually Vogue they're all over the place. And it's really hard to pin them down until like a couple of weeks after the fashion show because they've already done so many previews. So I checked out Elle Magazine online. And it looks like these were the most common items that they saw walking down the runways. And these are your indicators for what's going to be probably selling the most as far as high fashion and as far as once they see it on the runway, it's going to trickle down and people are going to be companies like Zara and other companies, Shein, are going to be copying these styles as quickly as they can get them into the factory. So what we're seeing and what we're most likely to see fashion-wise in spring and summer everybody's still into the sheer stuff, but it's called modest sheer. So picture a turtleneck that's see-through, that sort of thing, a long skirt that's see-through and may or may not have something under it. Hopefully has something under it, but not mine to judge. The 90s, you'll see a lot of the 90s minimalism revisited. They've got cleaner lines. So look for minimalist, clean lines, things for spring, but things for spring that are very like pared down. So it's not an A-line skirt with ruffles on the bottom or with lace on top or with, a giant floral print. It's simply an A-line skirt. And so that's what we're looking for spring. Hey, not Glenn. Good morning. Mwah. If you were Glenn, I wouldn't have done that. Good morning, Craig. It's good to see you. Every shade of blue, too, walked down the runway and walked down multiple runways, almost every runway. So blue is probably going to be the big color for spring. I know that every year the fashion companies come out with like the Pantone color of the year. It almost inevitably takes another year or two before that to trickle down, before people to actually start wearing it. So every shade of blue, though, is what we're seeing on the runway. And I think blue is going to be kind of the color, which is my favorite color. So I'm down with that finally. Finally, it's not yellow or green, which you may not know are not my best colors. I mean, green is okay in jewel tones, but boy. Hello, Lydia. Hi. Hi, baby girl. Mwah. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Weird and wacky wedding dresses, too, we saw coming down the aisle. So we saw like wedding dresses that you could wear to a beach wedding or a formal wedding. I really wouldn't wear some of these to a formal wedding. They were a little kooky. Lots of short wedding dresses, lots of ones with like big weird crap hanging off of it. Not my thing, but that is the younger thing, and you're probably going to see that. Strangely enough, peplum, which we thought was gone forever, and capris, which we also thought was gone forever, are making a huge comeback. Who knew? So peplum is more of a good morning, Diesel Aguilar. Good morning. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Diesel Aguilar. Good morning. It is great to see you in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. The peplum, from what I understand, is actually going to be a little bit more fitted below the waistline, because the problem with peplum is that it's fitted, and then after the waistline, after the seam, it sort of flared out into like a skirty thing. We're going to see a little bit more of a after the seam, it's going to be more constructed and form fitting. So hopefully that's a good look for people. I don't know. I don't have a waist, so I can't tell you. While we are switching over, if I could please ask you to hit that like button, the thumbs up button, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, I'd like to invite you to subscribe at this time. That's my altar call. Aunt Boo knows what that means. Yeah, not the peplum, exactly. I'm like, oh great, that's for a girl with not a really tiny waist. That's awesome. But capris. I'm a grandma. I already like capris. You know that. So, yay. So if you could please hit the like button or the subscribe button, I would truly, truly appreciate it. Thank you so, so much for your support. I do appreciate that. Every single bit of it. I do. The show and tell is delayed until next week because I really am trying to shave the show down as much as possible so that I have time to actually go to the bathroom and make toast between the shows. So, yeah. So that'll be delayed until next week. But we will, if you would like your closet highlighted, if you would like your eBay store highlighted, please don't hesitate to send me a note on Instagram or shoot me an email. My information is listed below in the chat, and just shoot me an email or send me a note on Instagram and just go, hey, check out my closet, and I will definitely do so. It would be my pleasure to do so. And we will do, and I don't do those reviews, those reviews where people are like, oh, let's check out her closet. Oh no, she did this wrong, and you did this wrong, and I don't like this. I'm not that guy. I'm just like, oh, look at the cool stuff that you have to sell here. And then I show it to other people, and then we're done. I make no judgment calls on anybody's closet because God forbid somebody should make one on mine. I mean, I don't have the coolest closet either. I don't think anybody does. Maybe Jack and Ryan. In reseller news, Christmas Day, Monday, the December 25th, 2023. And it should provide ample time for e-commerce stores to get their things shipped. However, this is what they recommend so far as shipping, and this is with USPS. See-through with pasties. Oh God, Dodo. The estimated United States Postal Service holiday shipping deadline for Christmas is for Priority Mail Express to ship by Friday, December 22nd, and for Priority Mail to ship on that same day. Don't trust it. Don't trust them. Don't trust them. You never know where it's going to snow. I think you should. caution is the right answer always. They do say that for ground advantage, you'll want to ship by no later than 12/16. And again, I would maybe I would maybe not tell. I wouldn't maybe guarantee too much. Not only is it Christmas and everybody's shipping, so shipping, all the shipping companies are going to be overwhelmed, including the United States Postal Service. Royal Mail is going to be overwhelmed. The Canadian Mail is going to be overwhelmed. UPS, FedEx, DHL, all of the carriers are going to be crazy, even Amazon. Um, but I just feel like I've been kicked in the tushy one too many times by the USPS service that said it was going to get there on time, so I ship it at the last minute, and it didn't. It did not. So I would be very, very cautious about that. Your best bet is just not to make any guarantees. Yeah, that's exactly it, Denise. Just guarantee your shipping date. I can just say, look, I will ship it to you tomorrow. However, I make no guarantees on behalf of the shipping company because I don't work for them. And that I think that's a perfectly acceptable answer. And you have to sort of manage your customers' expectations so that there is no disappointment on their end or your end. Maggie Doodle, how you doing, Doodle? She's my favorite fashionista. Hello, good morning, Maggie. For Christmas, we've always booked out a minimum of a week and a half. My uncle lives in Hawaii, so we ship out early. Yeah, exactly. Jelly. Oh, we're jealous of the uncle. I thought you wanted some jelly. I'm like, me too. That sounds good. I've got toast. I've got toast getting ready to be made. Um, no, I will have marmite and beans on my toastesses. I mean, separately, but yeah, and probably some jelly afterwards because I do like a jelly. Yeah, my salty treat this week, really, it was lemongrass, that lemongrass store. It was just so funny, guys. This guy gave absolutely not a crap what anybody. So my husband and I have decided that it would be our favorite takeout, but also if we're really feeling a little bit too, if we're really feeling, if we feel like we need to be humbled a little bit, that is the place to go. Because you are not a VIP. You're barely a P. I mean, it was just so funny. The service was awful and we loved every second of it. Like we were all four of us, we were just cracking up so hard, just laughing so hard. And yeah, I came home smelling like curry. I dropped some curry on my lap. So I came home smelling like curry and Vietnamese coffee. It was fantastic. There are no guarantees in life. Your lack of acceptance on that issue does not constitute my urgency. I like that. Yeah, word up. Barely, yeah, we were barely a person, much less a very or important. We weren't even an IP. We were barely a P. It was, and it's in like an awful, not an awful neighborhood. It's actually a very vibrant urban neighborhood. It was really cool, but it's surrounded by crappy neighborhoods that you have to kind of drive through to get there. So I mean, we go through all. It was just such an adventure last night, and I am from the city, so I love going into the city. I love, and again, I have a very weird, strange, deeply rooted affection for the weirder the better. I mean, just the stranger the better. I love it, and I laugh at every. I can't help it. I just laugh at everything. I think it's a panic response. I'm not sure, but it's so funny. We had a great time. We had a fantastic time. I do want to round us up with sweets for the sweeties, and I have a lot of those today this week. Holy cow, I have a lot of those. So, if I may I please say thank you to the Classy Crap Clothing Auction, the last one of the year, is And then we have one more classy crap auction that's going to be all stars in October, and then we're done for the year because I can only juggle so much, and the auctions really do are a lot for me to juggle. But this one was just phenomenal. I had great sellers. My great sellers were Johnny, Cajun Roots reseller. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. Two old guys, vintage, Mark and Michael. If you're not in love yet, tune in. You'll be in love. Dodo with just Dodo. Dodo's in the chat. Mwah, my sweet Dodo, you did such a great job. Veronica Mitka, always ready for show and tell. She was just amazing. And I was really, really proud of her. Kristen, Asia Dancer, another really great friend. That's my show me homie. And for Dodo and Veronica and Kristen, this was their first time doing it, and they were total pros. They were total pros. Kristen, I could not believe the heat that you brought those Betsy Johnson shoes. I cannot wait to get them. I mean, I bought like two different things of Escada. Guys, I got some such good stuff. I mean, it was a crazy, crazy good. Liv, good morning, honey. Mwah. It was so good to see you. By the way, Liv, I checked out your new hairdo, and I love it. I think you look fantastic. I was watching one of your shorts this morning, and you look great. You really, really do look beautiful. I do want to send a special thanks to the buyers. Although I'm not entirely sure who bought what, but I did try to catch everybody's names. So if I missed anybody, know that you have my most sincere apologies. Most sincere apologies. Now, these are not the buyers in the back room. We were, because we are clothing resellers, and if anybody's got something really good, we're like, oh, let me snatch that. So we're going to bypass the ones in the back room because they were also the ones in the front room, and we just talked about those. But special thanks to the buyers and the people who showed up to support the auction, who showed up to support the resellers, who got hopefully some really, really great stuff. From what I could see, it was really great stuff. So I will try to shout out everyone. Mary Pellet, I'm going to say Peltier, but I think it's Pelletier. Yeah, Mary, you were fantastic. Hey, Tommy, the bargain effect is in the house, guys. Rita, the booted chick. Amy with Who's Your Diver. Denise's Magical Emporium. I saw her in the chat earlier. Hopefully she's still around. Denise, thank you so much. You are both magical and Denise. Virtual shopkeeper Dee Dee, who we just love so much, and I'm going to be her when I grow up if I'm lucky. Lucy with Lucy's World. Aunt Boo just went absolutely wild, and she was Boo's Gone Wild. Denise, there you are. Thank you so much, Denise. I appreciate you so much. Regina Hoffman. Regina Hoffman was got some really great stuff. Jody with Marketplace Boutique, and I think Jody was here too. I thought I saw Jody earlier in the chat with Marketplace Boutique. She is fantastic. She's just so wonderful and lovely. Yeah, Boo Gone Wild, right? It was. I'm telling you, Boo got some. Yeah, I'm gonna be over at her house shopping what she bought. So that sounds about right. Jennifer Hayes. Hello, gorgeous. How are you? Mwah. Good morning. Let's see. Boo, Regina Hoffman, Jody. Patrick Murphy, P. Murph, picking up the teas. He knows what's good. And Cameron, Gravity Goods. It's Cameron with a K. Gravity Goods. Cameron picked up, I think, a T-shirt or two too, and he got the T-shirt that I wanted the most. It was like it was something. It was like a Family Guy T-shirt, and there was like Brian, and he's like, "People are stupid" or something like. It was fantastic. So Patrick Murphy, thank you so much for supporting the auction, for your purchase, and Gravity Goods, Cameron, you too. And then let's wrap things up. Let me let me say this, Johnny. Yes, it is always great to be part of your auctions, and thanks to all who joined and bought. Thank you, everyone. And my sentiments reflect those of Johnny, and as do all the buyers, really, and all of the sellers. Thank you so much. Um, and finally, so many thanks to Lindsay and Alvin for working with me on the snack exchange. I know it's a little goofy and it's a little non-reseller, but it's just, I had this image in my head, and it went even better than I expected. I was really happy to see them trying our snacks, and I'm really looking forward to trying their snacks. Like I said, I have to make tea. I have to warm up a pudding and some beans and make some toast. So there's a little bit of kitchen work to be done between the lives. I do want to also thank the crew from the UK showing up in the chat, and my fellow Yanks for showing up in the chat last night and making the chat so entertaining. It was internationally funny, like especially the soup part. And if you know, you know, and if you don't, go back and watch it because there was a lot of soup and it was hilarious. And I do want to apologize for all of the chip eating. I did eventually get fed last night. Most of the time I had my mouth full of potato chips because those Maui sweet onion chips were off the chain. They were so good. I can't wait for you guys to try them. And then last but not least, I do want to sort of go over my Poshmark numbers this week, my sales numbers this week. My sales numbers were pretty much abysmal. I did not pay attention. Again, it's like the third week in a row where I really haven't paid a whole lot of attention to my Poshmark closet. And I'm getting back into the groove of listing, which is good because that's how you make sales. So I never thought a soup could be so funny either. Oh my God, that was like the funniest soup ever. And if you think I'm not looking for that, you'll find me at Global Foods scouring the Caribbean section. So on Poshmark, I had 7 sales this week. I had 1 wallet, 2 tops, 1 shoe, 1 skirt, 1 accessories, and 1 pants. So for a total of 7 sales. My gross for those 7 sales was $119. My net was $86.89, and that's after Poshmark fees and shipping discounts, but before I minus my cost of goods. My cost of goods average is about $3 per item, and I had 7 sales, so that's $21. So I had $86.89 net minus the $21. My profit for this week is $65.89. Ouch. Now, again, I have been very distracted this week with all sorts of lovely things. So, it's just really another proof that you get out of it what you put into it. So you really do have to put into it. Glamma's gonna message you on Insta. Got a question. Okay, perfect. Not a problem. So for those of you who again missed last night, please don't hesitate to check out last night on Drink and Dive Dumpster Diving UK on Lindsay and Alvin's channel, where they did the tasting of American snacks, and they were very kind to us because some of it's like a little weird. So I look forward to seeing you guys in about 22 minutes. I'm going to make some toast and tea and warm up a pudding, and God help us all. I'm joking. I honestly, I like most foods, so I don't see it turning out badly, but I'm really interested in this whole Marmite situation and finding out what the deal is with that. So so wish me luck, and I will see you guys in about 20 minutes on this channel. And in the meantime, don't you ever forget, please don't ever forget, no matter where you're from, no matter what you're snacking on, Glamma loves you. Have a good morning. Bye.